Hi guys. So pretty much I just feel like cheering your spirit this time because I can't ignore the fact that we're going through a pandemic. And whilst I'm doing these videos, I miss my students, and everything has to be going virtual mostly nowadays. We're hoping that we'll be back to normal, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to share what I can share to make your spirit upbeat, like just to transcend, just to give you my own good feeling. Yeah, we have something to do. We can just focus on the positive. All right. So what I want to share with you now is I always like to reflect on what I did previously, so that there's not a break. So we've been looking at how to create art in simple ways, and I'm not the master, but I'm at a stage where I'm able to manage and manipulate and to handle myself. So here's what we're gonna focus on. We're gonna focus on shapes, and we're gonna focus on how to draw a still life, but we have to understand the different shapes. We have to understand the different elements. We have to understand lines. We have to understand how we perspectives and all of that. We're putting these elements together. We're making a composition. We have all of these elements, all of these principles, but then we have to zoom in and try to start simple. So I'm going to look at three basic shapes that we can use to manipulate, to draw a still life, and then we're going to shade it and make it look 3D. All right. And we're going to select a specific amount of toning techniques or shading techniques, whatever you want to call it, because we always have to keep in mind that the principle of shading is consistent with our work, and that helps to make our work look 3D. All right, so for example, we're looking at these shapes give you a circle. This can give you a circle, but it's an elastic band. And when we talk about manipulate, so we have a circle right here, good? And so I'm gonna draw a circle. It's not gonna be perfect. Just don't try to get perfection at first try. Okay? I use certain lines whenever I'm drawing circles. I can try to do one line and still get it, but for you to understand that mistakes can be made and you can correct. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you learn from your mistakes. All right, so there's our circle, and then I'm gonna turn it. When you look at it this way, I'm gonna turn it into an oval. That's what we talk about, manipulate. So it's gonna be like an oval. So then I can go ahead and draw an oval. Now every time we observe these, we must try to think, make some associations. What are some of the possible objects that I could get from a circle? What are some of the possible, and then we start look at objects and look at their outlines. So I always like to say a line evolve into a shape, and then from a shape to a form. Whatever we can make, we can draw, and whatever we can draw, we can make. Keep that in mind. All right, good. And drawing is the foundation for every art form. Keep that in mind. Drawing is the foundation for every art form. And at some point, I'm going to explain to you and list all the different art forms for you in another video, so you understand. So these are forms. These are actual forms, but they evolved from shape. So we draw. So keep this little reminder. We draw, then we can make. We make or construct. All right, so from a line to a shape to an illusion of form, and then to a form. All right, so that's a form. Let me just put it there, or I could put the word to. So from a line to a shape to a form or an illusion of a form. Of a form. Keep that in mind. This is the step. This is the basic step for drawing. Ultimately, you want to create an illusion of a form, because all of this is going to be an illusion because it's flat. It's not actually a form. When we're dealing with form, I will show you exactly how to create form, like sculpture, ceramics. I do all of those. I love those. I explore those. All right. So let's look at the possible objects that we can get from a shape, the circle. So we have the circle, we have an oval, and we can look at it from different perspectives. So this oval now reads as an ellipse. Let's quickly do this now. So I'm going to cut this, I'm going to draw this circle, and I'm going to cut it. I put another curved line right there. So I cut it like that, and I'm gonna put it right here. Don't miss that. You can look at it from this way. Look at this, because you can rotate it. So when it's like this, it's like you rotate it. So look at it from different angles, or you can turn your page this way. Good. So we're gonna make a composition. We're gonna combine all of these ultimately. So you start seeing that already. Let's do them separate. I'm gonna do this like a peg out of it. So this is round. All right, let me go again. You can have these, put the middle right there, and have, so you start seeing an object already. You can make an association with this. Could be a grapefruit. All right, good. Or an orange. Good. Now we explore all of these. It could be a cut melon. You think about the possible, could be a bowl. Yeah, this one. So we have all of that. Then, so we have circle first. I said I would show you 3 different basic shapes that we're going to work with to simplify drawing a still life. Good. 2, we can look at the, all right, so I can erase all this now that you observe that. So we have the circle, then we have 2, we have a square. And this is where the math comes out in art. It's very visual, very visible. Good. Now, after we have this, we can look at how we can, what are some of the possible, how we can manipulate it then. So this again, looking at it from a different angle, you rotate this, you flip it over, and it becomes this shape. Alright. So let me go here. So it could be that you twist it out of shape, or you turn it, you flip it this way. Alright? Becomes like a diamond. And you can pull this. So you can do that. That's manipulating the thing, the shape. All of this is from a line to a shape, because when you have it like this, it's an angular line, remember that, and then it's a shape. It's 2D, it's flat. All of this is 2D at that stage. So that's the first stage. Alright, so circle. So remember we said line, shape, form, or illusion of form. Alright? 3, so possibilities of the square. Alright, yeah, pretty much rotating it like that. Good. 3, we're gonna look at the triangle. Good. And we can look at the triangle from different angles. Alright, you can look at it from this way, rotate it, line, shape, an illusion of form. Alright, let's make it look that way. So line, shape, illusion of form. Good. Depends on how you manipulate it. Good. You want to make it look 3D. Form is 3D. Alright? or an illusion of 3D. And it's more effective when you start adding shadows or shades or tones, as we call it. So you see that where it's coming from, where it's heading. All right, line, shape, illusion of form. Line, shape, illusion of form. Eventually, we're gonna put them together. We're gonna juxtapose some of them and then see what we come up with. So you get that one. All right. Now for this one, line again, shape. Let's see the illusion of form. Do not miss this. All right, check this. I always like to do this. There are many ways of doing this. So you overlap, and I'm giving you a simple way of doing it. Overlap these two squares, these two rectangles. Then you do that, and you do that. Here's what you have. You can make it as an illusion of a solid cube, or you can make it like an illusion of a cutout or a glass box. Now you must always remember this. Rotate this, rotate this, and you come up with this. So it can be upright or it can be toppling over. Now this, remember when you add shadows, which is ultimately what we're gonna do, add shading or toning techniques, it's gonna start looking more 3D. It's gonna give you that illusion that you gear towards, that you ultimately gonna have. So that's it for the square or the rectangle. All right, so for the circle, it's very interesting how you can get the circle to look it's very interesting how you can get the circle to look 3D also. So you can easily do this, and I'm going to show you how easy it is without even having to shade it, just like the cube, how you can make it look 3D. Just put a circle within a circle, smaller circle right there, and then you put a oval right there. So you could even count them. One circle here, a little oval right there. You see that oval, and then you see that. Good. Now if you want to make it effective, you shade it, cast a shadow, have a direction of light coming from there, cast a shadow, you shade inside of here, starts to look 3D. Now that we understand all of that, let's put it, make the still life. Let's do the still life. Good. All of that information. So first, we're gonna make let's start simple, all right? So we're gonna put a box, and we can juxtapose them. Put each object, you could put one behind each other. You can put them all beside each other, or you can put them one in front of the other. All right, so let's do the box first. All right, so I want to do it the easy way for you, so that you just at least start practicing with this. So you overlap this rectangle, and if you want it to be really bringing perspective, or the principle of perspective in it, you make the one behind sort of smaller, because things that are further away appears smaller or shorter. So the one in the back, and then you can start erasing this if you don't want the box to be open. You want it to be a solid cube, or whichever area you want the box to open from, you can. All right, so let's make it open, and you have that option to play around. And as I said, remember, always look at it from different angles. Look at it from different angles. Make sure you do that. Be very observant. All right, so we could put the bowl beside it. You could put the bowl beside it, or the fruit. You could make a fruit if you want to. So whichever you want. Do you want a fruit If you want a fruit, you put a smaller circle there, you put a smaller circle there, then you connect them. And this could be an orange that is not cut, an uncut orange. Yeah, there you go. All right, you can put a smaller fruit beside it. You want to, even though perspective says what's in front should be bigger, sometimes based on scale or the size of the object, that's not going to be the case. All right, like I said, you could put a oval right there. I don't want it to be complicated. Let's go again. So I put the circle there. I'm going to cut the circle. Good. And then I'm going to put the oval on top of it. Good. Right, so now we have it. So it's less complicated. All right. So you have, good. So the next one would have been the triangle, right? You can juxtapose the triangle with the oval and you come up with a cone or a pencil. So all right, let's look at this. For basic starters, you put a triangle on top of a rectangle and you come up with a pencil. So you can start curving this now because you really want it to look 3D. Curve down here. Could be a pencil, right? All of these objects you can get from juxtaposing these shapes. All right, good. All right, so what do we want here for the triangle? Let's just put a little pyramid there. You could have a cone, as I said before. And remember, always look at these from different angles. All right, turn them upside down. You could put it like that. It's on top of each other. You really need to see things from different perspectives. Good. All right, so, all right, let's do the pyramid. Or better yet, we could put a jug there. But yeah, whichever you want. Think about it. Do you want it like that? All right, so the part about making it look 3D now. All right. Because it looks 3D as is, but it can be more effective. It can be really more effective. All right, so we don't want that to stand on that because it's not going to stand on that. Put it down right here. And then you put it there. There you have it. So you want to make it sit on a table, on a flat surface. And there we have our 3D, our still life. So this is a still life. All right, let's use the hatching technique. So we want to make sure, always know that we have a source of light because that's what makes the difference when we are doing that. And let's put it in a rectangular space or put a shape around it so it reads as a rectangular space. And this is a still life within a rectangular space. All right, so we want to start adding our shading. Now, in order for me to be very effective with my shading or my toning, I would rather to use my drawing book. So in another video, I'll still be giving you all of that information. It's more effective to be shading on the actual drawing paper, in the sketchbook, in the drawing book, using pencil, using charcoal. Charcoal is good for smearing, pencil also. All right, so this is the cross hatching. All right, so you don't want too much of that right there. You're gonna put it there. Make sure this side of the box is where the deep shade is. Good. So I'm gonna use a little bit of cross hatching right there. All right, so I need to get me a brighter marker to give you more. Oh, sorry, that one's not working. So let's just be patient here, guys, a bit. All right, so you put the dark right here. You want to make sure that your fruit still maintains that form. All right, so you're gonna put more shading around here also. Put shadows there. And that's why I'm telling you it's more effective. It can be very much more effective when we're using drawing pencil on the actual book or the paper. You'll get those rich shade of darkness in the absence of light, and then you'll start see the contrast. Alright, you cast your shadows right there again. Make sure you give that depth. And here we go, we're gonna have to decide now which part is the cutout. So good. So we're gonna have to cast shadows in here. Shadows inside of the box to show depth. Good. And on your pyramid, there you go, your little pyramid, put those shadows. And guys, hope you like it, hope it simplifies drawing for you, hope it helps you. And as I keep bringing these simply drawing tips to you, please subscribe. There's a lot more coming. All right, we're just building up, we're just warming up. We've been doing this thing for over 20 years as a professional artist, teaching art for over 11 years. So there's a lot to share with you. All right, take care.